Right, hello to everybody that's on. I'll wait for people to get on, obviously, before I talk too much and everything. But just to let people know, this will probably be the last stream I do of this, at least for a while, because we've done most of the combinations in this. So there's an epilogue thing that came on today. Apparently that's just because I've played this enough times now that they've given me an epilogue thing from the get-go. So we'll do that first when there are people on. Right, Norman? And then when, after that we'll just see if we can find any of the other weird things. So I've looked up some guides on just how to get some of the more random endings that, you know, you have to sort of do weird things to get that you'd never find by accident. I'm just seeing, is there a way of getting the console up? Because there's, in the old Stanley Parable, there was an ending where if you tried to use the cheats in the console, you could get that up. I don't know how you do that in the new one. If it was even possible. Right, Mike? Alright, cool, yeah, I'll be on tonight. I've got my new glasses, I just picked them up, so if I end up getting a headache and whatever and have to stop the stream, I'll have to stop the stream, but hopefully they'll be alright. But it's just sometimes when you're getting used to new glasses, because, you know, the prescription's obviously changed a bit, they can give you a headache, but I want to start wearing them and getting used to them as soon as possible, because they're obviously better for my eyes than my old ones were. Right, so anyway, I'll click the epilogue thing in a minute that starts. Apparently the epilogue thing is convenient, it's come up today, but it's just after you've launched and closed the game a load of times, it eventually comes up. But it's been, I've played it enough times on stream now that it's, you know, come up. Because what you didn't see on here before I started streaming any of these is the game asks you some, like, stupid questions, like before the main menu comes up. Like saying, please set the time, and then it says, like, I don't know if this is really the time or are you lying to me, stuff like that. It's after you've done a load of those, you know, you get the epilogue thing. Right, anyway, I'm going to start the epilogue bit now, even if there's not enough people on, because we might as well see what it is. I'm sure you can watch all the videos of people doing all these on YouTube anyway. Just trying to set the stream so we go to live chat. Right, epilogue. See what this is. A bit like we're on Dune. Arrakis, desert planet. It says 2 after, I think, the first time you play it. So when you first play it, it just says the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and then it changes to the Stanley Parable 2 after you've, like, played through it, I think, and quit once. There are also some things in this game that you can't get to come up, you know, like by doing certain things. They're just like random number generator chances that they happen as well. Technically be going east, assuming it's sunrise. Alright, Peach? This reminds me a bit of the Mad Max game as well, actually, at the moment. But I suppose it's just because it's a house sunken into the dunes. This is the museum, isn't it, or something, like from before, that this corridor would normally lead to. See what even goes there. It's almost too dark to see where you go, and this is on maximum brightness. Well, I was saying that, my new glasses, I can't read that text without my glasses on, but I can read even like the small print nearly on there. So that's actually quite impressive how good they are for my eyes, you know, from a distance. Yeah, to give you an idea of my regular short-sightedness, if I'm looking at this now, without glasses on, I can read it says Cookie9's blog at the top, and I can read it says Review the Stanley Parable 2, and then the text is quite blurry, but I could just about read it. With my glasses on, it's all really sharp now. There's lots of gyms. Yeah, gym. So this still goes on for further. It's actually easier to walk backwards on this bit when there's not much light. See, this is like the thing I was saying when you start the game up, it's a thing like this. Alright, okay, so we can Stanley Parable 3, Saturday Night, Evil Baby, half employee, half wacky, in search of birthday party, co-workers, explosion, crown, gun, escape. In search of Evil Baby, I think, because we burn the baby in a fire. Oh. Oh, I see, so it has to be. Okay, in search of co-workers. Why not? Alright, XI Gumpy. Let's do it, I want to see what it says. Right, there we go, please enter the current time, let's just do it correctly because why not? So it's 2 PM. Exactly. Oh, there we go, look. You are playing the Stanley Parable 3, Search of Co-workers. Ah, that's cool, XI Gumpy. As in like a motorbike, dirt bike, or just one for like trail bike, kind of like push bike ones. It's cool either way. Alright, let's begin the game again. Let's see if we can get some of the more weird, obscure endings, because like I said, I had to look up guides on how to do some of these. Like I said, I'd never use guides in a game like this normally.
This is the story of a man.
Because it, ruins a lot of it, but for finding the weirder stuff in this that, is literally impossible to find. Like there's one at the very beginning where you can jump out that window, apparently.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
I don't know why it's reminded me of Tim Curry and Rocky Horror.
He pushed them
can't think
like
of what
some
song it
kind of
reminds me of,
glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Right, Scott.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Then ask it, man 111. Well, I'm not going to try and talk over the narrator very much when I'm playing this. So you have to wait for pauses for answers for a lot of the bits. See, I'm not going to restart this because I want to get the actual ending. Like the ending this one leads to. Or if you restart, you obviously won't get it. I'm just thinking, Mike, it might also be the thing where whatever he's trying to ask keeps getting hidden by YouTube, because that seems to happen a lot. When people are like, I have a question about something, and then one of the words in it will be in YouTube's like list of words that you can't publicly comment. Let's see if you're off XIGMP. But yeah, it sounds good that you've got a new bike. Right, has the music finally stopped? Is my chat broken? Hang on, no, it's... Yeah, just weirdly the chat like went a funny colour then, like it disconnected. But it seems to be working again now. Right, I'll just keep standing here for a bit, because I'm sure there's actually an ending by, not doing something from what I looked up. There's very few ones where, if you just stand there forever, nothing happens. Although saying that, are we just trapped on a white screen? Because I don't think I can actually move around or... Oh no, the buttons do actually... Yeah, it looks like I might have to restart. Begin the game again, I guess.
All of his co-workers.
Let's see what the
gone.
other option is
What
if
could
you
it
jump out
mean?
the window. You know, where
Stanley
you could
decided
say,
to
I'm
go to
not
the meeting
bored of
room.
it.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Yeah, so it looks like we actually just have to restart if we jump into this room. But yeah, I'm assuming man's question
All
is just not coming through in the chat.
What could it mean?
Because
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Minutes,
Perhaps he had simply missed a
got
memo.
words in it YouTube doesn't like. I could try and get the escape pod ending, but that's quite hard to do. Although I think that's the thing where if you look through this window for long enough or something, it might be if you try the door enough times, he says something about this room. Just stand there like that and see. Right, so if you're still there, man, what you need to do is you need to try and rephrase your question in a way where it doesn't use certain words you've used in it, which might be random words that YouTube blocks. So good luck attempting that without knowing if your comment's posting or not. I don't know, actually do that one then where he goes on about the room. So there's definitely a thing where he talks about that room. New content is the museum bit.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, I want to go left and try and get the escape pod ending, which is quite hard to do apparently because you have to time it just right. But
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
right, so apparently what I have to do here for this one is walk through this door and leave really quickly.
Stepping
There
in.
you go. Right. Now, apparently, we go all the way back to the beginning of the game. If it was made all the 50s and 60s, regardless of the country, I would not use that filter. Because the probability that it's, even if it didn't have asbestos in or anything like that, that it's going to have like leaking charcoal or other filter materials in it, I just would not risk using that filter. You can get a 60 to 40mm converter for the old 60mm masks though. Oh, can we take the bucket into the escape pod?
One man, one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together.
Here we go. You are now leaving. It's really hard to say because I don't know what country you're in, what your budget is, what you want from a mask, you know, what the current prices of masks are in various places. Because at the moment, I doubt you're going to get many good masks for under $100 or £100 just because of how much they've gone up in price. Here we go, escape pod. If the light comes on, I can see it because it's quite dark. There we go. Yeah, a 4A1 for that price is good. The bucket is just a bucket, Peach. Okay, so obviously if you took the bucket there, you send the bucket out the escape pod.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh look, the bucket's not there now. We sent it out the escape pod. That's quite cool.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, another one of the weird endings you can get apparently is to wait for ages in one of the rooms and then you can backtrack. So let me see if I
Yet
can do
there
that
was
one.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it
Was it
mean?
284, right?
Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Right, so I think what we do in this bit now is we go through this bit as normal.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
then we
screens.
don't get in the lift.
What
when
horrible
it comes down
secret did
along
this
that
place
catwalk.
hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Right, so I think what we do here is we press the button to get the lift down.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
And I think then we
Had
just wait
Stanley
here
really
for
been
a...
under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, I think it's that this gate apparently reopens if we wait in this area for long enough but don't get onto the lift. So let's just wait and find that out. There we go, yeah, those doors are reopened. Ends like this, or I have to then carry on as usual. I mean, I can try jumping off now if you like, if it's not going to do anything else.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
Annoyingly, I don't think you can get the cheats ending in
Good
this
job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. And I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Yeah, I've done it with a bucket before, Simon. I think I've done every single one you can do with the bucket and without the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh yeah,
Perhaps he had
replacement
simply
bucket,
missed a memo.
because I managed to get rid of the other bucket in the escape pod. Is the new content door still there? Yeah, if I take the bucket though, does that door disappear?
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Right, let's go through this bucket.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
Not done this to the bucket before, so I don't know if this changes anything. Weird multiple choices. That's basically it.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Wait, Stanley, I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all.
Because I haven't seen this lot of stuff yet. Bringing the bucket into the stuff before you get the bucket.
Hold on. Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel? I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
Right, let it pick.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
So 0 jumps remaining. I've already used it.
The infinite hole, the giant door, did you see them already? Stanley, none of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game? Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes. You carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable! Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you, clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win. Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Right, let's not take the bucket through there this time, because there's something I want to try in here without the bucket. So, you know, I get back on the one, I guess, at the previous time. Because apparently there's another, like, weird secret ending, or, like, you know, silly thing in here if you do another one of the things where it's meant to be, you know, something that's meant to be, it's the bottomless pit, basically. Alright, you skip through that bit then, the second time you do this.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Oh look, it's the fun.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Right, okay, so it's the bottomless
Here
pit
we
that's
are.
around here
Go
somewhere.
on, try out some of the new features.
Infinite hole.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Right, so apparently we just jump down and we don't press the button when he says you can come back up.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Right, maybe this is where we don't press the button. Because I think, yeah, last time I did actually fall to the bottom. But apparently there's a thing like if... Apparently you just go to... Because I think they were showing a picture of like another different like main menu screen it gave you if you did this. Unless I'm mistaking it for something else in the game. But like I said, this stream's more just trying to find some of the odd little weird endings we've not found already. Because obviously the majority of them I've already done. Oh, jump back down, cheers, Simon.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Right, let's do it again then.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Right, Byron? Oh, there's puppies.
My head's stronger.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
I hope the floor starts moving again so I can go through more weird slideshows. Ah, okay, it's just put me back here.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
No screenshots. I'm going to press the screenshot button.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Let's do Get Well Someday, because we did Happy 12th Birthday Stepniece before.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Oh.
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
See, that's an illusion of free choice.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Right, Mike. Alright, Edward, I've picked up my new glasses today, so I'm getting used to them, so whether or not they'll give me a headache a bit later on, I don't know, or my eyes get used to them, but,
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given. As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
yeah, Byron, I've got this weekend off work as holiday, which is good, and that was just pure coincidence, because there was other holiday days I booked off and couldn't get off, but this weekend I've got off. So, I guess I might just, drink quite a lot to celebrate the Queen. Not that I really care that much. Actually, to be honest, I do like the Queen. And I like Prince Philip when he was alive. I don't like a lot of the other royals, especially not Andrew. But the, the actual Queen and that is great, but, yeah, 70 years on the throne.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
We've already seen the Fig Relines before, but out of order. Oh, is this one that's just going to go Jim, 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 Jim over and over again?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Right, Mike, I just got the hidden achievement because after that bit earlier on I went back to the thing and it gave me the hidden achievement of, like the broken achievement that the text said it would put back in the game.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see! What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you! Do it again, do it again! Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button.
Do you know the right way to put it up, though,
from
Mike?
all of
Because
this
I can never
personal
remember that
validation.
it's like one of the diagonals is different, isn't it? One way up than the other.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the gym button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Please, no screenshots. It's annoying me that that doesn't, like, do a thing then. The baby is all grown up. So instead of regular fire, it's bankruptcy. It's still got the baby's face. It's a shame that's not interactive. It's got that gantry on the thing, like you should be able to go across it. See, I reckon there's still some stuff, even some of the guides don't know how you get the endings in it, but again, it's one of those things where you'd have to have loads and loads of time to play about, wouldn't you, messing about with loads of things in the game to see how to get some of the weird stuff, if it is even in the game. Is the collectible thing still broken? Yeah, because I've collected all the Stanley figurines, so I can't do that now. Let's go to the exit. I think we've seen everything now. Oh, we haven't looked at the bucket again yet, have we? Let's just go back through here and see if we can pick the other balloon. Probably won't let us do anything.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
Oh wait, no, it is.
As long as you
just
hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
What if I try and put the bucket back? Oh, won't let me.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
What's that? That's new bit up there. I know I went up here before, but I can't remember what was in.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, we've already achieved the epilogue, though. We did that at the very start of this stream. Oh, it's changed to mostly infinite hole now.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now? So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
See, this is, Mike, the first time we do it when it changes the menu at the beginning of the game.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Yeah, there we go. Right, I'll end the stream here anyway, because, like I said, we've done nearly all the choices now, I think, anyway. There's definitely a couple more you can do, and there might be some that people haven't even found, but, some of them, you know, take a while to do for, like, a barely slightly different ending to some of the ones we've seen. Yeah, there's definitely a couple of bits I don't know if you can actually get in this version of the game. Like, in the original one, there was, like, the cheats ending with the serious room. And I don't know if you can do that in this one, because in the old one you had to open up the console, but I can't find a way of opening the console in this one. To put the cheat command in that then gets you sent to the serious room. And there's a couple of other ones like that, where the stuff might not be in the game, because they've, you know, done a, like, redone version of it, you know, with a different kind of load of dialogue. Yeah, hopefully I'll be on mic. The only reason I might not be is if I get some eye strain and new glasses and want to get an early night or whatever, but hopefully I won't. So like I said, there should be a better prescription for my eyes. I just have to see the first couple of days of having them on that, you know, they don't upset my vision or whatever. But, yeah, I should be on Twitch tonight, I imagine. So far, the glasses seem absolutely fine. Obviously, it's still just a case of getting used to them, because obviously I've not had a new prescription in about 4 years until this point. Right. If I do a stream tomorrow, it'll probably be a members stream webcam one. Probably in the evening, most likely. Until I think of another game to stream, you know, and just chat about with people while streaming the game. Right, have a good afternoon, evening, everybody.